Hi friends, I have entitled my literature review, Motivation to Exercise During Pregnancy, Analyzed Through Theory of Planned Behavior. Here is an image of that theory model. You have attitude, subjective norm, and perceived behavioral control, which are all three constituents to a person's intention to then go and perform a behavior. There are two research questions that I looked at throughout my literature review, one of which was what motivates women to exercise during pregnancy. The second question is how do the three components of theory of planned behavior, and again, those are attitude towards a behavior, subjective norm, and perceived behavioral control, affect women's decisions to exercise or not exercise during pregnancy. Here I have 4 different articles selected for the literature review, and I've just listed them out by their titles as well as the authors. One thing you maybe have noticed is that there is a similarity in these authors, and that's because Hasselblass and Simon-Downs were actually a part of a longitudinal study where they followed several pregnant participants throughout their pregnancy, did lots of questionnaires and collecting data from that research, but they wrote 3 individual articles based on first trimester, second trimester, third trimester, and that makes up each of the 3 articles that you see there at the top of that chart. And then the 4th article there, Hasselblass went ahead to write an additional article with some other authors with an examination of pregnant versus non-pregnant women's physical activity beliefs and behaviors. We have some key variables and findings here that I have highlighted in this particular chart. If you look at the variables section, they all use the theory of planned behavior as the theoretical framework. The first article collects data from that first trimester pregnancy, second article for the second trimester pregnancy, and then we had data collected from the third article from individuals within their third trimester pregnancies. And then, of course, looking at that final article, just to recap, we're looking at physical activity for pregnant versus non-pregnant women. And some key findings I've got listed there in that second column are perceived behavioral control was the strongest predictor of exercise behavior for women in their first trimester, and attitude was the strongest correlation with intention. When we moved into second trimester, we saw that intention became that strongest predictor of exercise behavior. And attitude, as we saw in the previous article there, is also the strongest correlation with intention. And then moving into the third article, intention was the strongest predictor of exercise behavior, but then we see subjective norm become that strongest predictor for intention. And finally, in our 4th article, non-pregnant women beliefs on physical activity were salient across time. And you're welcome, Miles and Kylie, for the use of the word salient. Thought you all might like that. Also, physical activity for pregnant women varied across stages of their pregnancy. Another finding was that moderate intense physical activity was greater for non-pregnant women than for that of pregnant women, and it continued to diminish for pregnant women throughout their pregnancy from their first to their second to their third trimesters. Some similarities between articles I have highlighted here, and to kind of interpret some of that, that first one there talks about the attitude was the strongest theory of planned behavior construct for much of the pregnancy, as what was that motivational factor for women to want to exercise. And that suggests that even though women during pregnancy may be experiencing some control factors such as vomiting, fatigue, and nausea, their attitude towards exercising was the stronger predictor of following through with that exercise. And by attitude, that was more the desire for a healthy pregnancy, for desire for a healthy mommy and baby. And so that pull through is the stronger component there. And then we move into intention, which was the strongest determinant of exercise throughout most of the pregnancy. And this suggests that future strategies could even increase exercise in pregnant women by helping them with some goal setting to help them really commit to those exercise behaviors. And finally, one of the similarities amongst all four articles were the beliefs on the advantages of exercising during pregnancies were found to be very similar for the participants from each of these studies. That suggests that since knowledge of the benefits of exercise during pregnancy is known, the act of actually doing the exercise behavior is more indicative of motivation. A couple of thoughts just to kind of go back and reflect on. The theory of planned behavior proves to be a strong theoretical framework for identifying motivation factors for pregnant women regarding their beliefs on exercise during pregnancy. And intervention strategies for encouraging exercise during pregnancy should be trimester specific. And more on a personal note, there are a lot of factors that contribute to a healthy pregnancy, with exercise during the pregnancy being one of those components. It's important to do research and develop those intervention strategies that help women be encouraged and motivated to want to exercise during their pregnancy. Because at the end of the pregnancy, the most important thing is that we have a healthy mommy and a healthy baby. Thank you.